9 changes of the watery star hath been the shepherd's note since we've left our throne without a burden. Time as long again would be filled up, my brother, with our thanks, and yet we should for perpetuity go hence in debt, and therefore like a cipher, yet standing in rich place, I multiply with one we thank you, many thousands more that go before it. Stay your thanks a while, and pay them when you part. Sir, that's tomorrow. I'm questioned by my fears of what may chance or breed upon our absence, that may blow no sneaping winds at home to make us say, that is to put forth too truly. Besides, I have stayed to tire your royalty. We are tougher, brother, than you can put us to it. No longer stay. 1 7 night longer. Very sooth, tomorrow. We'll part the time between us then, and in that I'll no gainsaying. Press me not, beseech you so. There is no tongue that moves, none of the world, so soon as yours could win me. So it should now were there necessity in your request, although 'twere needful I denied it. My affairs do even drag me homeward, which to hinder were in your love a whip to me, my stay to you a charge and trouble to save both. Farewell, my brother. Tongue-tied, our queen, speak you? I had thought, sir, to have held my peace until you had drawn oaths from him to not to stay. You, sir, charge him too coldly. Tell him you are sure all in Bohemia is well. The satisfaction, the bygone day proclaimed. Say this to him, he's beat from his best ward. Well said, Hermione. To tell he longs to see his son were strong, but let him say so then, and let him go. But let him swear so, and he shall not stay. We'll thwack him hence with distaffs. Yet of your royal presence I'll adventure the borrow of a week. When at Bohemia you take my lord, I'll give him my commission, to let him there a month behind the jest, prefixed for his parting. Yet, good deed Leontes, I love thee, not a jar of the clock behind. What lady see her lord, you'll stay? No, madam. Nay, but you will. I may not, verily. Verily. You put me off with your limber vows, but I, though you would seek, tons fear the stars with oaths, should yet say, sir, no going. Verily, you shall not go. A lady, verily, is as potent as a lord's. Will you go yet? Force me to keep you as a prisoner, not like a guest. So you shall pay your fees when you depart, and save your thanks. How say you, my prisoner or my guest? By your dread, verily, one of them you shall be. Your guest, then, madam. To be a prisoner should import offending, which is for me less easy to commit than you to punish. Not your jailer, then, but your kind hostess. Come, I'll question you of my lord's tricks and yours when you were boys. You were pretty lordings, then. We were, fair queen, 2 lads that thought there was no more behind but such a day as tomorrow, as today, and to be boy eternal. Was not my lord the verier wagger, thou too? We were as twinned lambs that did frisk i' the sun, and bleat the one at the other. What we changed was innocence for innocence. We knew not the doctrine of ill-doing, nor dreamed that any did. Had we pursued that life, and our weak spirits ne'er been higher reared with stronger blood, we should have answered heaven boldly, not guilty. The imposition cleared, hereditary ours. By this we gather you have tripped since. O my most sacred lady, temptations have since then been born to us, for in those enfledged days as was my wife a girl, your precious self had then not crossed the eyes of my young playfellow. Grace to boot. Of this make no conclusion, lest you say your queen and I are devils. Yet go on. The offences we have made you do will answer if you first sinned with us, and that with us you did continue fault, and that you slipped not with any but with us. Is he one yet? He'll stay, my lord. At my request he would not. Hermione, my dearest, thou never spokest to better purpose. Never. Never but once. What, have I twice said well? When was it before? I prithee tell me. Crabs with praise, and make us as fat as tame things. One good deed dying, tongueless, slaughters, 1,000 waiting upon that. Our praises are our wages. You may ride us with one soft kiss 1,000 furlongs ere with spur we heat an acre. But to the goal my last good deed was to entreat his stay. What was my first? It was an elder sister, or I mistake you. Oh, would her name were Grace. But once before I spoke to the purpose, when, nay, let me have it I long. Why, That was when 3 crabbed months had soured themselves to death, ere I could make thee open thy white hand and clap thyself, my love. Then didst thou utter, I am yours forever. 'Tis grace indeed. Why, lo you now, I have spoke to the purpose twice, the one for ever earned, a royal husband, the other for some while a friend. Too hot, to mingle friendship far as mingling bloods, I have tremor cordis on me. My heart dances, but not for joy, not joy. This entertainment may a free face put on, derive a liberty, from hardiness, from bounty, fertile bosom, and well become the agent. It may, I grant, but to be paddling palms and pinching fingers as now they are, and making practised smiles as in a looking-glass, and then to sigh as 'twere the more to the dear, and that as entertainment my bosom likes not, nor my brows. Mamilius, art thou my boy? Ay, my good lord. Effects, why, that's my bowcock. What has smutched thy nose? They say 'tis a copy out of mine. Come, captain, we must be neat, not neat, but cleanly, captain, and yet the steer, the heifer, and the calf are all called neat, still virginaling upon his palm. How now, you wanton calf, art thou my calf? Yes, if you will, my lord. Thou wantest a rough pash, and the shoots that I have to be full like me, yet they say we are almost as like as eggs. Women say so, that will say anything, but were they false as ore, dyed, black as wind, as waters, false as dice, are to be wished by one that fixes no bone twixt his and mine, yet were it true to say this boy were like me. Come, Sir Page, look on me with your welkin eye, sweet villain. Most dearest, my collop, can thy dam, may it be affection, thy intention stabs the centre, thou dost make possible things not so held, communicatest with dreams, how can this be? With what's unreal thou coactive art, and fellows nothing. Then 'tis very credent thou mayst conjoin with something, and thou dost, and that beyond commission, and I find it, and that to the infection of my brains and hardening of my brows. What means Cecilia? Something seems unsettled. Ah, my lord, what cheer! How is it with you, best brother? You look as if you held a brow of much distraction. Are you moved, my lord? No, in good earnest. Or sometimes nature will betray its folly, its tenderness, and make itself a pastime to harder bosoms. Looking on the lines of my boy's face, methoughts I did recoil 23 years, and saw myself unbreeched in my green velvet coat, my dagger muzzled, lest it should bite its master, and so prove, as ornaments oft do, too dangerous. How like methought I then was to this colonel, this squash, this gentleman, mine honest friend. Will you take eggs for money? No, my lord, I'll fight. You will. Why, happy man is bestowed. My brother, are you so fond of your young prince as we do seem to be of ours? If at home, sir, he's all my exercise, my mirth, my matter. Now my sworn friend, and then mine enemy, my parasite, my soldier statesman all. He makes a July's day short as December, and with his varying childness cures in me thoughts that would thick my blood. So sans the squire officed with me, we two will walk, my lord, and leave you to your graver steps, Hermione. How thou lovest us, show in our brother's welcome. Let what is dear in Sicily be cheap. Next to thyself and my younger rover, he's a parent to my heart. If you would seek us, we are yours of the garden, shall attend you there. To your own bents dispose you, you'll be found, be you beneath the sky. I'm angling now, though you perceive me not how I give line. Go to. How's she holds up the neb, the bill to him, and arm her with the boldness of a wife to her allowing husband. Gone already, inch thick, knee deep, o'er head and ears a forked one. Go play, boy, play, my mother plays, and I play too, but so disgraced a part whose issue will hiss me to my grave. Contempt and clamour will be my knell. Go play, boy, play. There have been, or I am much deceived, cuckolds ere now, and many a man there is, even at this present. Now while I speak this, holds his wife by the arm, that little thinks she has been sluiced in his absence, and his pond fished by his next neighbour, by Sir Smile, his neighbour. Nay, there's comfort in it, as other men have gates, and those gates opened, as mine, against their will. Should I despair that have revolted wives, the 10th of mankind would hang themselves. Physic for it there's none. It is a body planet that will strike where 'tis predominant, and 'tis powerful, think it. From east, west, north, and south be it concluded, no barricado for belly. Know it. It will let in and out the enemy with bag and baggage. Many thousand on us have the disease and feel it not. How now, boy? I am like you, they say. Why, that's some comfort. What, Camillo there? Ay, my good lord. Go play, Mamilius. Thou art an honest man. Camillo, this great soul will yet stay longer. You had much ado to make this anchor hold. When you cast out, it still came home. Didst note it? He would not stay at your petitions, made his business more material. Didst perceive it? They're here with me already, whispering, rounding. Cecilia's so forth, 'tis far gone, when I shall gust at last. How came it, Camillo, that he did stay? At the good queen's entreaty. At the queen's be it. Good should be pertinent, but so it is not. Was this taken by any understanding pate that but thine? For I can see it soaking, will draw in more than the common blocks, not noted is it, but of the finer natures, by some severals of headpiece extraordinary. Lower messes perchance are to this business purblind. Say, business, my lord, I think most understand. Bohemia stays here longer. Huh? Stays here longer. Why, but why? To satisfy your highness and the entreaties of our most gracious mistress. Satisfy? The entreaties of your mistress, satisfy. Let that suffice. I have trusted thee, Camillo, with all the nearest things to my heart, as well my chamber counsels, wherein, priest like thou, hast cleansed my bosom. I have from thee departed, thy penitent reformed, but we have been deceived in thy integrity, deceived in that which seems so. Be it forbid, my lord, to bide upon it. Thou art not honest, or, if thou inclinest that way, thou art a coward, which hoaxes honestly behind, restraining from course required, or else thou must be counted a servant grafted in my serious trust, and therein negligent, or else a fool, that seest a game played home, the rich staked out, drawn, and takest it all for jest. My gracious lord, I may be negligent, foolish, and fearful in every one of these, no man is free, but that his negligence, his folly, fear, among the infinite doings of the world sometime puts forth in your affairs, my lord. If ever I were wilful negligent, it was my folly. If industriously I played the fool, it was my negligence. Not weighing well the end, if ever fearful to do a thing, where I the issue doubted, whereof the execution did cry out, against the non-performance. 'Twas a fear which often infects the wisest. These, my lord, are such allowed infirmities that honesty is never free of. But beseech your grace, be plainer with me, let me know of my trespass by its own visage. If I then deny it, 'tis none of mine.